Welcome to Stocklandia's podcast, where we highlight the people who make the community.
How you guys doing? Thanks for tuning in to Stocklandia's podcast. This is Kenny here. We're here today with Kumbia, one of the dopest artists, tattoo artists from the 209 and nationwide. I'm here with my partners Rob and V-Dog.
Hi, guys.
And here we go. Kumbia Inc. in the house today. Very special guest. What's up, Kumbia?
What's up, everybody? I just want to thank you guys for having me here. It's a blessing to be here with all of you, just us doing this podcast, but also as friendships. You know, like it's really an honor to have me here.
We're humbled by your presence always.
Absolutely. So like I said, Kumbia is definitely one of the, dopest artists from Stockton. We're blessed to have him. If you don't know, you should know that he is from Stockton. He does be doing a lot of traveling. He's out there nationwide, got a lot of celebrity clientele. So
He's a tattoo artist.
yeah, tattoo artist, and anybody who needs work, get at him. He will be tattooing me here coming up soon, huh? So yeah. So yeah, V-Dog's getting something too, huh? What you getting, V?
That's a secret.
Oh man, that's a secret.
Kumbia,
Yeah.
no,
So
me and Kumbia.
I've kept my back wide open for Kumbia because I just want his work to stand alone and not be next to anybody else's. So nobody's gonna touch my back but Kumbia, and I'm very proud of Kumbia. If anybody don't know, I've developed a great friendship with him. He's a young man making very good moves, very positive, not making the same mistakes I did when I was his age. So very proud of him. So let's get into it. I just want to ask Kumbia a couple questions. You guys can get to know him a little bit better. So just want to ask. So Kumbia, let everybody know how is your life as a tattooer right now?
It's dope as hell. Well, I could get started with my life right now. I'm on tour with. I've been collabing with Diego Contreras. He's a great friend of mine now. He's a celebrity barber, you could say. I've been collabing with a lot of like dope industry artists, not only like on tattooing wise, but like pretty much like you could collab all kind of stuff. So like as barbers, we have like rappers, like pretty good celebrities. I pretty much don't like to talk about my life so much, just the fact that I try to keep it as humble as I can, and I don't like to brag. Like I like to let my words speak for itself. Last year I pretty much just started putting my face out there for the first time in life because people want to see who's behind the scenes, and not that I'm shy, because I'm not a shy guy, but I just don't like thinking like for people to see me and be like, oh, he's good looking, I'm gonna try to holler at him, you know what I'm saying? Like I just want my work to speak for itself, you know what I'm saying? Like
Rays come out at night.
you know what I'm saying? But yeah, as far as that, I've been collabing right now so far. I've been doing a lot of tours. It's been a great year. I want to say, we just started off the year, but we kicked it off like super smooth, and like I'm so ready to see what the whole year has in front of me, and how much people I can help.
Yeah, dope. Awesome. Well, so like little different than most artists that I know, because I know a lot of tattoo artists. I consider Kumbia, he's kind of like a touring tattoo artist. I know you just got off tour. So what's your tour schedule coming up like now for all the fans that are outside the state? Because like I said, Kumbia is one of the dopest artists out, not just in Stockton but nationwide. He has a lot of fan base throughout the country. So let them know like where you're going to be headed. I know you're home for a little while now, but I know you're going to be hitting the road again here. Yeah. Where are you going to be headed to?
Well, I'm hitting up Seattle, I'm hitting up Phoenix, New Mexico, Alabama, of course. Alabama's kind of like hometown as far as Stockton. That's like my second hometown. But I'm pretty much hitting up Utah, Denver, Ohio, Detroit. Can't forget about Detroit. Philadelphia shows me a lot of love. And I have a few more spots that I won't be hitting. I'm pretty much doing, how many states is it?
You said like 7 right now?
What you mean in general?
In general, just in the USA.
Oh,
I think
how
we're
many
at
states?
52.
Yeah.
52.
Yeah.
Well, I'm probably hitting like 45
Oh,
this
wow.
year.
Yeah. No.
Yeah,
This year.
Yeah, this year alone.
And how many did you do in 2020?
Like right now, so far, I probably hit 20 already.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, I know. Yeah.
And you guys will see his website, so you can look at like trying to book. You'll see that here at the bottom of the podcast.
Yeah, and I'm so sorry if we don't get back to you like in a day or a week. Might take a month, but I hope I could really get back to you.
Yeah,
Just
Kumbia is
because,
very backed up.
Yeah, I'm super backed up right now. Just quite some proof projects. I know you guys see some Pacheco tequila here in the front, so we might be collabing pretty soon. Just letting you guys know that.
Yeah.
Throwing it out there with there.
Yeah. Yeah. So tell us, Kumbia. I want to know. So I just met Kumbia through Kenny, because Kenny and Kumbia were working together on another project, and Kenneth brought him here to our grand opening. So I think the first time I met you was in October, and ever since I met him, he has this just warm, welcoming soul, and I see him and I see like his generation, and I want to just be there for him to teach him like the things we went through and we didn't learn. Not to say that I'm much older than him, because I'm not, but just we'll just say it, keep it there. But
she thinks like you're her son.
I do. I met him. I have a 21-year-old son, and I met Kumbia, and I instantly thought about my son. Like, wow, what a great young man, what an inspiration to his generation. Everything he's accomplished so far, and he's so humble. He doesn't speak on it, but he's just truly an artist. He's gifted. You're gifted, mijo. You're gifted, and
Thank
you
you.
have such great talent, and you also are so humble and extremely giving. And he's from Stockton, so to me, from the moment I met him, I welcomed him, and I just wanted to, help him in any way I can, just advice or, listen to him, whatever it was. So I want to hear how you started. He is from Stockton, so give us some history about you.
Okay, so it all started for me, as far as tattooing, or as far as like.
Just give us some recap of your life, and then how you
Okay.
came into the tattooing.
For sure.
The artist side.
Yeah.
The artist side. Well, I'm originally from Stockton. Born in Mexico, San Luis Potosí. Pretty much came out here when I was a little boy to Atlanta. Just went back and forth, just jump around for the longest. Then actually I came out here when I was like 8 to Stockton. So I call Stockton hometown just because it taught me a lot. It taught me like how to work. It taught me like a lot of different stuff. As far as working, it all started back in the fields. I don't know, a lot of people don't know, but I'm a field guy, so I know how to pick like a lot of stuff. I was in school.
Farm worker?
Farm.
Okay.
Like farm.
Like what did you pick?
Tomatoes, cherries, cebolla, like pretty much anything.
So you're running up and
Arriba
down the
los
valley.
campesinos.
Like,
Yeah.
for real. I just wanted to say that just
Yeah.
because to me that's home.
Yep.
That's home, and my family, we come from I don't know, would you say third generation, right?
Yeah, you're first generation, because you were
Okay.
born in Mexico.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, like, not getting paid as much. That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
So what do you call that? Third generation?
Yeah.
Yeah, third generation. So, we come from nothing, and it all started like that. Just seeing my mom, hustle. They wake up at 3 in the morning. A lot of people don't really get to like wake up that early. So, they all come from like working 3 o'clock, like leaving us at home just because they couldn't babysit. I mean, that's illegal to say, I should say, but I mean, let's be realistic here,
Yeah, there was
So,
no babysitters.
there was no babysitters. I was the oldest man, so I had to step up to for me to take care of my brothers. But like, I saw them struggling with money; they never had money. So I tried to tell them like if I could go to work with them on the weekends, and they were like, okay, like for sure, like we could use a little help. So I started going. I started seeing like people's lifestyles. And not that I'm smart, I never felt like I was a smart guy. Like I'm not good with school and stuff like that. But I always just see little gaps that people don't see. Not criticizing people, but criticizing my own life. Like what I want my life to be like. Like how do I want to finance it? So I just started seeing everybody Throughout the whole years, I started helping them, like turned 10. I was still a little bad kid though, getting in trouble in school. But I told myself, like I wanted to help out all the community, all the campesinos. Like I wanted to do a lot for especially for Stockton, just because I'm from here. I wanted to help out as much as I can. So it all started like that. I kept going on with my life a little bit more. Got really in trouble in school that I was like, not in gangbangs, but like people would look for me for trouble all the time. I never been a gangbanger situated and everything like that, but I always draw my whole life. Like that's the thing about me. I've been drawing since I was born, and it was pretty dope because the fact that anything I'll look at, I will see it as an art. Like I'll literally look at something and I will see something that I could do with that. Like, ooh, how can I sell this? My thing was always selling. Like, ooh, how can I do something with this? So you give me a napkin, I'll create like roses, like anything. And I was just always being a nice little guy that I always like to give to people to stuff. So I started selling my artwork, and I started selling like letters, like teachers. I would tell them like, hey, your husband, like. You know what I'm saying? Because I was bad in school, so I was just trying to get my grades up. I mean, I had to finesse it somehow.
Did it work or what?
Yeah, so I just, sold a little here and there. Moved to Atlanta, so that's where I started tattooing. Back when I was in Atlanta, I started like working. I was pretty spoiled because I went from having nothing to like my dad had a little bit. He had a mechanic shop, and I was working with him at that time. So it was pretty fun. It was pretty fun being in Atlanta because it showed me a different perspective. So I get to see like the real poor side, and then I got to see like a little bit of middle class, So I was like, oh my God, like this is amazing. But I seen all my cousins, I seen everybody. They were just handing out money. Like Atlanta, they just like your kids. They just spoil you. They're like, oh, you want a hoodie, mijo? Like you want for a postal here? Boom. Next week another hoodie comes out. They have it. So I'm like, damn, like I didn't like that lifestyle, I didn't like someone handing me stuff because I never liked it. I never liked no one giving me nothing. I always felt like I always got to give. I don't like receiving, but I like giving. And that's where it all started. I started tattooing, and that's when my whole life just changed. Like,
how old were you?
I was 18.
Okay.
No, 17.
Okay.
So 17
So
when
17
you
years
picked
old.
up a tattoo gun?
Yeah. I seriously picked it up, and
What was the artwork?
what was the hardest?
The artwork that you did.
Oh, the artwork? Well, at that time, I was just taking anything, like I was just doing anything, but I was still working as a mechanic. I was pretty much killing it. Like everything I have done and everything I like to put my hands on, I like to go all in, 100%.
Yeah.
We're right here. I want to like turn my phones off, give 100% to where we at. Like I like to enjoy it and live the moment.
Yeah.
That's always been me.
Mm-hmm.
So when I did that, I was like, you know what? Like, oh my God, this is dope. Like this is something I could actually start creating art. So to me, it was amazing. But I went through a lot of stuff a little before that because I used to draw for art. So I don't even know if I should be saying this, but when I was in school, like I didn't, how you go to 6 different classes like math, like everything. I wasn't doing none of that. I only went to art, and that was it. Cause I was so dope at doing stuff, like the teachers, like the principal. I was just doing bad in school, so they would be like, you know what, like how about you design my shirts? How about you do stuff for art for school? So I started painting like their walls. You know what I'm talking about? Like how they have like the walls in school. Yeah, the murals. So I started doing a lot of that, and they were pretty much like, dude, like you're an amazing artist.
You're gifted. Yeah.
So I always just got my hands on things like that.
Well, that's great that the teachers actually acknowledge that was your gift. So I don't think there's nothing bad.
Yeah,
they were
they
just
see
highlighting your talent.
Yeah, it's just the fact that I was always getting suspended though. So like I wouldn't get the fact that they had to like literally have me like on I couldn't go to recess and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like they always had to like leave me there. So that was pretty bad for me.
Yeah.
I didn't like that. I was like, dude, what is this?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So that you were 17 years old, you started in Atlanta.
Yeah.
And then tell us a little bit from there.
So after that, like it just kicked off for me big time because I was just doing it back and forth. I'll get up at 7 in the morning. I dropped out of school. I said I couldn't do this no more. I wanted it just to give it full time and full potential, like full throat. So I said, forget school. I talked to my dad. He wasn't okay with it, but I told him, like, I was a grown man, like, I always like just to work. I don't like giving handouts, like, he was like, no, mijo, like, when you grow up, like, if whatever car you want, as soon as you graduate, I'll have it for you. For someone to say that, come on, I don't want to take the easy route, like, that's easy stuff. So I was like, you know what, I'm going to give it full throat. So I just dropped out, and from there, I started murdering and just doing, like, mechanics, 7 in the morning till 7 in the afternoon, and after that, I will go tattoo. I will literally go and tattoo till like 4 or 5 in the morning, wake up at 7 again, do it all over again. Like, that was just my routine for about a year. Almost when I turned 18, my dad got deported. So that like crushed me because it was just so hard for me to see like for my dad just to go away, and I was pretty much still young. I mean, I know how to pay bills and stuff like that, but I feel like that wasn't for me, like.
You weren't ready,
Yeah, I wasn't ready for none of that, like, and I was barely getting into my dad because I never been a family person at all. So I feel like now that I'm older, that's the reason I'm so much of a family person, just because I never had it when I was a little kid.
Yeah.
So right now, like, I'm just that, and at that time, they took him away. So I was like, dude, like, this is not good. Like, I don't want this. I wanna be able to be able to get help, like, I need to want to talk to somebody and stuff like that. So nobody was helping me. My uncles, like, I come from a very good side of the family from my dad's side, like, very wealthy, and my mom's side, like, very poor, so I get to see both of the sides. So nobody was there to help me. Everybody on their own were, like, just doing their things, like, care about money. And my thing wasn't money. My thing is always being happiness, being there happy, like, I could make $1 million with this business, but, like, is it gonna, like, how's my soul gonna be, like, so I'm all about my soul, like, where I see myself in it, so.
Yeah, exactly. That's good wisdom for people out there too, because even if you're all about making money, money's not gonna make you happy at the end of the day. Money's just gotta be, it can't be the end goal. It's gotta just be a tool. Happiness got to be first, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Oh,
you got to do what you love and have passion for it.
Yeah.
And if you give it your all, the money will come.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You know what I'm saying? If you just make money the sole reason, then it's never gonna. It's just like a never-ending.
And they're never in cycle,
Yeah.
I see that a lot with a lot of people. I see millionaires. I mean, I deal with a lot of millionaires and billionaires, and
there's a lot of unhappy millionaires.
It's just a lot of unhappy people in this world, So, I mean, to be honest, like, now that I get to see, like, how that, like, I tell people, man, like, when you're gonna open up a business, say you invested $60,000, like, are you mentally could live with that moment that you just left $60,000, like, but not just that, you have kids, like, how, like, is your kids set for at least another 4 or 5 years, at least minimum 3, you get what I'm trying to say, like, where you see your family before you take a business decision, like, it's the people around you at least a little good, before you go full throttle on this new project you're trying to take. That's what I tell people, before they get in anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like if I go to your house, like, you're like, oh yeah, like, you're like, hey, mijo, you come to the house, and I'm like, okay, cool, so I'll go to your house, and you're like, hey, you could just stay the night. And I'm like, hey, Veronica, you just want to make sure you want to confirm that we're Rob. You're like, no, I'll pay for this spot. Like, I'm like, dude, you just want to, like, tell Rob how he feels, though, because I want the whole family to feel comfortable, at the end of the day. Those are the little things, like, I feel like now the new generation, I should say people my age, we don't get to think about stuff like that, So it's just, I feel like I have a different way of looking at life than a lot of other people.
Yeah.
So that's one thing I always tell people, like, if you're gonna do something, make sure you think about it 100 different times before you do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And have some
you gotta
good,
look at every angle before you make a move.
Yeah.
and have some good people in your circle that can give you some different perspectives,
Oh yeah.
Because that I think is very valuable. So,
Absolutely.
Advice from others and just personal experiences, like, they help you.
Yeah, but I mean, I feel like it's one of 1,000 now. Like nowadays you really don't have that, you know, like, so it's hard to come around good people.
Yep.
And when you do, like, you pretty much mess it up just because of a money or a whole situation. You try to get greedy. Like, at the end of the day, look who help you, you know, like, where's your team at, like.
But you can tell when you find good people because you feel it.
Oh yeah, for sure. You feel the energy, you know,
but
like right
as
away.
you said, it's very seldom now.
Yeah.
Especially in business.
Yeah, business for sure.
But I mean, who you surround yourself 90% of the time will usually dictate where you're gonna be at in 5 years. You know.
Oh, for sure.
So then, what happened after that? You were in Atlanta. Your dad was deported. Is he still deported?
Yeah, he's still deported. He's not trying to come back, and like, which it kind of takes it hard on me sometimes because, like, I didn't get to experience like a family dad thing. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, like, now it just, I feel like I realize life. Like, I'm like, oh my god, like, this is probably why I need to become a dad figure to my nephews. I need to become not a dad figure, I should say, to like other people, but I should be like
role model.
Exactly. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna start bringing people into my life a little bit more. I feel like I need to put my face out there. That's when it make me realize, you know, like, I have a lot on my plate, and I want to make sure certain people just eat on my table.
Yeah, that's good. That's really good. And that's actually good that you say that, because there are a lot of people who come from broken homes, or, you know, your home maybe was, I mean, it seems like your parents were separated, so you were like Atlanta here, and then when your dad left, even though he's still in your life over the phone or, you know, communication like that, you didn't have him sharing experiences with you, and that's hard.
Yeah, it's hard. You know, it could take it hard. It might break me down here and there, but I mean, at the end of the day, like, all I could say, I just talk to God, you know. I sit there and I talk to God, like, God, what you have for me today, you know, like what's good, you know, like, talk to me right now, you know, show me a little something, you know, like, who do you want me to speak today, you know what I'm saying? Like, people wake up like every day in the morning. This is one thing I hate, man. Like, seriously, like, I always deal through it, and, you know, I have conversations with people, and I'm like, man, what do you talk about God? Like, you know, I'm not a whole God like speech like that and stuff like that, but I tell them, like, when you wake up, like, what do you usually think? I'm like, man, I want that new Lambo, this and that. I'm like, damn, bro, like, people just think so much different, you know? Like, how about you just wake up in the morning and just be like that? Like, God, what do you really want me to do today? Like, who do you want me to speak? Like, who do you want my presence to be like?
Yeah, who do you want me to speak into?
Like on some serious note, you know? Like, let's get real deep into that. Like, you know, come on now. Like, don't ask for the new Lambo, you know? Like, come on, that's just stupid. Like, don't ask for a new Gucci or Louis. You know, at the end of the day, like, you just want it, and you're just gonna sit in your closet. You're just gonna be taking pictures, be a target to, like, whoever, like, or robbing the neighborhoods. You get what I'm trying to say? Like, at the end of the day, you're just fronting. Like,
it's true.
It's just an object.
Yeah, but like Rob said the other day, you know, we had some things going on in our business with people that we work with, and Rob said one morning when we were coming into work, he said, I think these people, like, God sent them to us so we could help them, because there's, you know, just some situations, and what we're doing, you know, or things that we have to offer has helped some of these people. And sometimes you have that gift, and it also becomes your curse, because then it drains you, right? Because you're such a giver, and you want to help. But at the same time, like, we don't say no to it, you know? We don't say no to it, and that's one thing I tell Rob, like, I know, I feel like all these things happen, and God is sending these people our way because we can do something, you know?
Yeah. No, it's true. That's one thing I say, you know, like, it's good karma and bad karma, you know? Like, so at the end of the day, like, you're always going to have good karma, but it's just going to be that 1 month it's going to keep hitting you one after another, after another, after another. But at the end of the day, like, you really got to tell yourself, like, what are you going to do? You know what I'm saying? Like, are you going to just go through it, or are you going to, like, sit there and just be fucking miserable?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, seriously, be fucking miserable.
Ain't no one trying to be miserable.
No.
Nah.
So how'd you get back to Stockton after
Well, I turned 18, you know, so I had to get my passport, you know, to come see my mom. I feel like I was away. I went through a little stage where I was very, like, oh, fuck my mom, you know, which I shouldn't be saying that, you know, like, sorry, God, you know, but, like, I'm being realistic, you know, like, let's be fucking realistic. We don't know fucking live in this fake-ass world, so let's be real with each other. So I was like, man, fuck my mom. You know, what the fuck would she would send me, you know, back to Atlanta? Like, this is miserable. Like I feel like I went through a rough stage that I would just put in blame on somebody, but in reality, it was my own blame. You know, I did my mistakes. You know, I was probably little, but they probably just wanted the best life. And I thank my mom like literally every day in the morning now. Every day in the morning when I wake up, I'm just so freaking grateful. I left to Atlanta because if I would have stayed in Stockton, this is where it's come down to. So when I came back, I got my passport, did everything, had a little bit of money, came back to Stockton for the first time. I was so happy to be here in Stockton because this is home to me. So I literally came, talked to one of my friends that I just had in contact with because of Instagram, thanks to Instagram. So I hit her up and I was like, hey, dude, like, let's hang out. And then we were at Best and Robbins. And we were having a conversation, you know, eating ice cream. And I was like, hey, man, like, what happened to this guy? Like, oh, he was like, oh, yeah, he's dead. Hey, what happened to this guy? Oh, yeah, he's in locked up. He's doing live. Hey, what happened to my other friend? Hey, yeah, he's doing this. So it made me thought about, like, damn, dude, like, so imagine if I would have stayed in Stockton, where I ended up. Because I was the worst kid in the school, you know? I was the worst kid out of all people. So imagine, like, where would I have ended up, you know? So that's why I'm really grateful now.
What schools did you go to?
I've been to Van Buren. I went to, I don't even know, to be honest. But pretty much my whole life, I lived in 6th Street.
Yeah.
6th Street in Sierra Vista, that was home to me.
So what your mom did for you, even though you were mad at that time, like most kids are, you know, she was saving you.
Yeah.
Her job, like I told my son, my job is to make sure you make it and to save you from everything, even from yourself. I will save you from yourself. Whether you understand that right now or not, she was saving you from yourself because you were going to fuck up.
Yeah, I was going to do a fuck up.
Yeah. But she was saving you from yourself. And
You never
job.
understand when it's happening.
Yeah.
You understand later.
Yeah.
Things happen.
I'm so grateful though. I'm so
Yeah.
grateful. So like to all those people that are listening, they're underage, man. Fuck, listen to your fucking mothers.
Yeah.
Like,
Tell us, say it again. Say it louder.
That's good too. 27,
say it for my
man.
son.
It took me about 35 years to realize what my mom had did for me.
Yeah.
damn.
You know.
Yeah.
So.
But like right now, like how old are you?
Mijo.
No. Like, let's be realistic. How old are you right
It's
now?
almost-
I'm 41.
41. How old are you?
40.
You're
40?
41. You just turned 41.
Damn.
He forgot his age.
Hey,
Thanks, Tequila Pacheco.
See what you doing?
41.
He's 41.
41 and 41.
Yeah, I'm gonna be 41 in 5 days.
Damn. You see
Sponsored by
that's
Tequila Pacheco.
Yeah.
That's 123 years, right? 123 years right now in experience right on the table.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, not behind, you know, what's this, but like that's what I tell people, you know, like look what you're at right now. I'm literally taking 100 and something of experience, you know, like a lot of people don't see it, but
It's true, and that's what you know.
That's why I love Kumbia, because he puts his ego aside and just soaks game.
he soaks it in,
Yeah.
and he
It's
said
like a little sponge.
he said some things right now that I didn't know. I didn't know he was, you know, hijo de campesino. Like I was also, my father. That's migrant. You know, our generation, they migrated over, and the job that they could get was in the farms and in the fields. And my dad did that. I used to sell oranges in the Mission, 24th and Cap, you know, because he would bring all the fruit, and that touches something special to people. Like, you know, no one understands making whatever it was, that, you know, minimum wage and working, going into work at 3 a.m, seeing your parents go literally all day. Physical, labor-intensive work, and it's covered by the Mexicans.
Yeah, and you know what's hella funny? So this is where it comes in, and this is where I feel like I step down to being as humble. That word I don't really like to touch, but I feel like this is one of the subjects. As humble as I am now, like I pretty much learned it from being a campesino.
Yeah.
So back to when I was here in Stockton, I started working, I started traveling. I was doing tattooing at the time, but I was trying to comprehend life. I was just literally trying to like see the life, what is gonna be like 10 years from now.
Mm-hmm.
So I was tattooing. I was making decent money at that time, really good money. But I told myself, I can't do this. Because I was already tattooing celebrities, I was already hanging out with like Wiz Khalifa, Roscoe Dash, like Ti. I was around some big hitters.
Yeah.
I ain't even gonna lie. I always been that guy. Like I do something and I'm a loud person. I'm a very loud person. My energy attracts so much great people
Yeah.
that sometimes I don't even know who they are. And at the end of the day, you're like, oh, it's Ti. Oh, for real? Like, who's that? And then people are like, oh, are you serious right now? Like,
Yeah.
you don't know who Ti? Nah, I don't know. Who the fuck is he?
Yeah.
You know, how old is he? You know, like I'm very like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, T.I., that's like our generation.
That's our
now.
generation.
Yeah,
That's-
but he's
that's-
dope. He's dope.
yeah.
I like him.
Yeah.
That's Caesar at Hot August night.
Yeah. But you see what I'm saying though? I just never been. I never knew none of that kind of stuff. Like I never cared for other things, but I feel like I'm always very loud. So at that time, I came back here, started making really good money, working tattooing, doing my thing. But you know what? I had to step down. I literally had to step down, and I told myself, I have to go back to the fields. I literally have to go back to the fields. So say I went from making $500, $400 a day to making not even $100 a day on the fields.
So you went back
Just to humble yourself?
Just to humble
from
myself.
tattoo. Yeah.
Yeah, from tattooing, just because I wanted to. I told
It
myself.
takes a lot of heart to do that, though. You know.
But I'm so grateful, like God just gave me the vision of coming back, to society. So when I did that, it was great. It's a great experience because I had to get my life together. I feel like that was the point in time that I had to get my license. I had to like do a lot of stuff that I don't like to do, paperwork, as you guys know.
I know about that.
So
Yeah.
I was like, man, you know what? I need to go back. I really need to go back, and it refreshed me because I always been so good. Like I was working in the Cherry, I was the best man working in the Cherry. But like I said, I wanted to help out as much. I didn't want to make more money, but if I could make another dollar extra on top of what I was doing, I wanted to do that for all the campesinos. So we went back because at that time we were doing little like going to here in Stockton, and you go to Lodi, Modesto, like trying to like pick out fields. So we went to Seattle because at that time my mom was living back in Seattle. So we went out to Seattle, and this was pretty cool though because this is where like I feel like my smart kicked in. We were working in the fields, and you know how they have managers
Yeah.
and contratistas, you call them.
Yeah.
So contractors. So they get paid about 600 to like what 1,000 maybe. I'm not sure what was their budget, but I was like, dude, I could cut these people out. Like I could cut him out. So I used to be so good at working that I used to take a lot of breaks. I'll go sit down in the tree, enjoy like eat cherries or whatever I was doing. I'll eat it. And people would look at me like, man, this guy's hella lazy. Like this guy, like people used to judge me and judge me because I was just so good at doing it. But like I would sit there and take a break, drink a soda and drink a water. And people are like, why is he doing that? Like you're hella stupid. You could be making more money. I'm like, we'll see who's the stupid one now, So, so I would sit there and enjoy my app when I would literally think. I would literally try to sit there and think, like, how can I make more money? And how can I make everybody else more money just by me being here? So that's kind of like really, really where it kicked in because I noticed a big thing. I noticed we were so good, and when I wasn't there, because I got sick for like 3 weeks, and then when I came back, like I just felt the energy. When I came back, like I literally walked in. What was it, like 5:32? When I walked in the field and people were clapping at me. People were like, oh my God, he's back. Like, that's so good. Like, people just so grateful for me being there. And then I was talking to the manager, and he was telling me, like, we had a bad week. And we need to recuperate, like, that's hella crazy. You motivate a lot of people. So that's when it kicked in. I was like, you know what? I was like, I have to do more. So what I did, the following year, what I did, the whole year I was just thinking, like comprehending how I was going to get better. So I went back. It was pretty dope because I went back to here to California. I was really pretty much traveling. So when I went back to working in the fields, it was fun because I actually saw a huge gap. I was like, I went and talked to the owner because I was really good friends with the owner of the fields. So I told him, I was like, hey, like, we usually take about a month to get the job done. I could get it done in 2 weeks. And then she was like, what do you mean? I was like, I could get it done in 2 weeks. I could get it done in 2 weeks. You paying us $3 a bucket, but at least I want $4 to $5 a bucket. I don't want to be greedy. I just want to even if it's 50 cents an extra bucket, but I could get the job done quicker. You don't need a contractor. You don't need this. So I did the math. I took out 5 contractors, and I was like, look, all that money, I don't want you to take it away from there, but all that money you could save out of the whole month, because we started doing the math, I was like, I still want you to pay the contractors, but I want them to go back to working, because it's not fair how some people are literally working their asses off and some people are just scratching their butts. And she was like, what do you mean? I'm like, dude, you have to be in the field for you to see it. You're just getting paid. You know what I'm saying? But like, if you do this with me, like, trust me, you'll be so grateful of what happened. So I did that. We killed the job. We did it quicker. She paid us $2 more, and everybody was so happy that they got raised. And I never told no one. That's one thing about me. I like to stay quiet. Mm-hmm. So I never told nobody that it was me who,
changed the game.
Changed the game.
Change the game. That's a dope story, bro.
So you know what's funny though? I was doing that to like consistency. When we were working the cherry, I probably did that to like 5 different ranches. I want to talk to the owner.
Did you pass that game on?
No.
He took it at 5.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I did that, but I never after that, like, I feel like I needed to step out, because at least I did my part of paying people more, Yeah, and I told them my people are always going to be there, because they can't go nowhere else. They don't have other jobs.
You know why I love that story? Because you just made living proof that you can be business savvy and still have a heart for the people. Mm-hmm. Like, people, like, to this day, people try to separate that, like, oh, a businessman is a shark, snake oil salesman, but you just proved them wrong. And that's what I'm about. Like, you figured out a way to make them more money and still include them without you being the man that took it all. Like, you made it happen for them. That's what you just, that story right now is just dope.
Yeah. Well, dope. I didn't even take my paycheck was to my mom. Yeah. I get out my paycheck. My mom was.
But you figured out a way to embrace the people and still get them more money.
Yeah. Well,
so like, you were, that's a sick story, bro. That's just
I never told that to nobody. This is the first time actually I said that.
How do the contractors feel about it?
They never know.
They never knew.
No one knew. Yeah. No one knew what I have done for people. That's the thing about me. I like to just.
He doesn't do it for the recognition. He does it for what he gets out of it.
Yeah,
it's what you feel.
Yeah, it's how I feel. That's why I'm telling you. Back in the days, I never put my face out there, but now I'm starting to put it.
That's why you blessed now.
Yeah,
I'm really grateful for that. Like.
And you were tattooing already at this time?
Yeah, I was tattooing. I stepped down. I went back. Yeah. I went from making good money to making nothing. But I wanted to do that for the people. Just because people, I see their bust their ass off, like.
It's true.
And it's a rough life out there, like, it's really rough. But those people
they don't have rights.
Yeah, you guys should just know that you guys could do a lot of other stuff, especially now with all this social media, like everything that's happening in this world. Like, there's so much easier ways to make money. Like, it's just people are just lazy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. There's so many platforms for people to succeed now, but you gotta have hustle.
It's that work ethic.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, that's his brand too.
We're gonna get into that.
Yeah.
Well, man, I wanted to touch on some stuff, because you're an incredible tattoo artist, and I'm not a tattoo artist myself, but I've been a fan of tattooing my whole life, as Kumbia knows. Lowriding and tattooing is like my 2 deepest passions outside of business, but especially black and gray, which you excel in. So, like, tell me, like, where do you see I've seen tattooing come so far in the past 10 to 15 years, like lightning speed. Mm-hmm. Like, where do you see it going from here?
Man, you know what? I get asked that so much. I always have to sit there and think about it. Like tattooing is definitely an inspiration. It's a piece of art. People look at it like gangbangers and stuff like that. That's
See, that's kind of like the era where I come from.
yeah, exactly. That's the reason I was always in trouble. My
Yeah.
drawings, they were just so dope, so cholas.
Like only when I come from an era where tattooing, like only 3 or 4 people had it: bikers, gangbangers, cholos, and just straight convicts or drug addicts. That's who had tattoos. Now soccer moms have them, housewives have them. Everybody has tattoos now. So like tattooing has came so mainstream. Like, where do you see it going now? Like,
it's I mean it's a change of game. Like it's crazy how lawyers have it, like how so many
doctors.
oh my god, like it's insane where people are at right now, like, but people look at it, it's a piece of art.
Yeah.
I'm just like, I don't really get to talk about like stuff like that with a lot of people, but my clients, I do get to talk to them about where we see tattooing out of, and I'm like, man, it's very easy. You answer your own question. Like, why you hire me as being your artist? He was like, I just love your art. I love your inspiration. I could see it on a tattoo. You don't need to tell me. I'm like, of course. So you just literally told me what you see yourself. I'm just creating a tattoo for you, a memorial tattoo, or whatever the situation is, that you could get some inspiration. Some people like back to being lazy. Some people just lazy and they need some inspiration in their lives, and you happen to have a couple bucks in your pocket and be able to, someone like me at least, I know what I do for a living. I just don't tattoo. I do art, and I get to inspire a lot of people. So I feel like now that's what I'm trying to change the game, because there's a lot of artists, like real artists out there, and there's a lot of tattooers. That's what a lot of people don't understand, that you gotta separate that. You really gotta separate.
An artist creates it. There's tattooers that just transfer.
Yeah, they just transfer
the design over.
Yeah, so it's like, and they get paid the big bucks, But at the end of the day, I'm not gonna hate. I just know what I'm doing for my people. Like my foundation is solid. Yeah. I don't know how their foundation is.
So what you're saying is some tattoo artists, I guess, don't do the actual drawing. They just do.
They just transfer.
Just transfer. Yeah, they're just transfers. Both. Yeah, like I'm gonna create something.
Yeah, and they transfer it over.
Yeah, I'm gonna create some dope art for you. Like, tell me how you living. Tell me what you want out of this, and I'm gonna create that for you. That's what I'm getting paid. What I get paid for.
Yeah, and I think that's beautiful. We asked you. I asked you last week. We were just when you came by. I asked him, yeah. So do people like send you what they want? And then you draw it, and your answer was, no, we sit down and we talk about their life and what they want, and then I come up with something. Mm-hmm. That's art. Yeah, like if you go to a tattoo artist and you say like, I want to get a tattoo, and I don't know exactly what, but this is what I stand for, these are my morals, this is what my life has brought me, and then you come up with a drawing for them.
Yeah,
it's a whole package though.
Yeah,
right? That's a whole package.
Yeah, not just that, dude, but like, I mean, I have people flying in from all over the country, even with COVID right now, and at the end of the day, like, bro, I'm just blessed for having them in my chair. Like, I could get to sit down, they go back motivated, and then they get to tell all their friends about me. Not only they got a tattoo, but I just changed their lifestyles, like, I'm like, dude, that's dope. Like, I'm glad I could do that for you. Yeah. And my whole package is like, they're really coming in and I'm paying for the hotels. I'm picking them up from the airport. Like, man, who has that kind of service, Like, let's be realistic. Probably after this podcast, a lot of people are going to be like, oh my God, like, oh, he's so dope. I'm going to start doing that. But I mean, at the end of the day, you could do it all you want. You could literally copy me, but you ain't me, baby. You ain't me.
Well, that's why you Kumbia Inc. But yeah, going back to that, like, I mean, everybody knows I'm heavily tattooed, and like tattooing really, like, for me, not being a tattoo artist, but getting tattoos, it's really been a form of therapy for me. So like, any struggles I've went through in my life, I've always like got a tattoo, and back in the day, it might have been doing something else, like narcotics or something, but. Now we
won't touch on it.
Yeah, we know people know, but I'm a changed man, and so like getting tattooed is a therapy for me. That and working out. So when I go get a tattoo from somebody, it's important to me. You know, I choose the person who's gonna tattoo me. I choose them wisely.
Yeah.
And I like to just know that they're a good person and a good human being and somebody I want to be around with before they just. I'm not the type that just walks into a random shop and says, "Hey, pick something off a wall, pick some flash off a wall," which was real popular in the old school tattoo days. But that's not who I am. You know, I don't get something off the wall. Like I go and I meet a person like you, and I can't wait for you to do my back piece, man. I'm super motivated. That's going down March 21st too. You guys are gonna see it.
Hell yeah.
Dope. But going back to that, like,
what are you getting?
He's gonna do a crucifix for me.
Oh, okay.
What I've always wanted.
Yeah.
From, you know.
The whole back?
Yeah.
The one session?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I'm kind of let's touch on that. Like Kumbia says he could do it in one session, but that's a lot of work.
I know it is. I just look at it like, how's your work ethic? You know, like be realistic with yourself. Like I know I'm a tough guy. You know, I'm built solid, and
what are we talking about? How many hours? That's a lot of work.
It just depends. I knock time out like in 8 hours. I have done some in 5. Like, not to brag about it, but you know, it's like, well, I get inspiration just by me talking to my clients.
I'd say even 8 to 12 hours, that would still.
Yeah,
I'd be very impressed with doing that in one session.
It's painful, you know, and it's so hard for my clients to take it. You know, a lot of people always tap out at 4 or 5. You know, I have like clients that they get tattooed with some amazing tattoo artists. Like, shout out to all the real artists out there, like seriously, who really take the time to create something dope for them. And sometimes, like, you know, I see them come back to me telling me like, oh my god, like he did this and in this hours and you killed this and this. Like, how are you?
That's
even
a lot
doing
of work,
it?
bro.
You know, hours. But I
got little tattoos that took 3-4 hours.
But the thing is, how passionate are you about the project? You know, sometimes like you give me really wearing out. Sometimes like you give me like full throttle. You know, like you just.
I think it's more about how much pain I gotta take for that long.
Because I heard you don't let nobody use. I heard from the grapevine that you don't let them use the numbing cream.
I don't, because you're just killing the whole experience of it, you know, like now
you
you're.
You
gotta get naturally numb.
Yeah. Pacheco, we're gonna need you.
No, that works good actually. I've had complete sober ones and ones like this, and it does a good job.
Yeah, I mean, like I tell people, just don't drink beer, drink tequila.
Yeah.
Well, so going back to tattooing, because like I said, I got a great passion for tattoo artists. Who are some of your inspirations in the tattoo game?
Like,
because I got my favorites. We've talked about who my favorites are. I love my favorites. You know, most of my favorites started even before you were even tattooing.
Hell yeah.
You know, one of them just had a commercial at the Super Bowl, so big shout out to Cartoon, the first tattooer with a Super Bowl commercial. That's huge.
Yeah, that's huge.
You know, if somebody would have told me a tattoo artist would have had a commercial on the Super Bowl 20 years ago, I would have just like, you're tripping. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But he pulled it off.
Yeah.
And so like, who are some of your favorite tattoo artists of all time?
Shout out to that homie for real though, Mr. Cartoon. Like, it was one of my first inspirations. Definitely for sure. Jose Lopez. I mean, I'm talking about old school cats, Nico Hurtado. You know, those guys were solid at the beginning. You know, AB. I got tattooed with, you know, some of the best, you could say. However one people say it. Now I feel like I'm very into myself and my client. My inspiration comes from my clientele. You know, like seeing how hard they work to get here. I feel like right now I really don't have inspiration on tattoo artists. Everybody's so dope. Gabriel, like,
yeah, there's so many artists.
Like Carlos Torres. Yeah,
Carlos,
like
one of my top 5, Carlos Torres. Shout out Raven and Wolves out there.
For real, like Ruben tattooer, man, amazing tattoo artist. You get what I'm trying to say? June Cha, like I always looked up at his stuff. You know, Noah. There's dope artists that I work with now. Like, I mean, I got tattooed with Elias, AB. You know, like,
yeah, AB's dope.
I got tattooed with some of the, you know, like high cats, you know, you can't get in touch with. But I mean, that just made me realize when I was getting tattooed by them,
I gotta do some research on some of these.
Oh man,
'Cause I'm not in
yeah.
that whole.
No, there it's a whole
But no,
world
like,
out there.
I just
Yeah.
remember,
You know?
the
Carlos
TV
Torres.
shows, like, you know, they were on
Yeah,
Cat
no, that's
Von D,
nothing.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah. I
no.
mean, that's
well,
what-
yeah,
yeah,
Cash is
yeah.
dope. Yeah,
Yeah,
But like when I was young, when we were young, like you could literally count the dope tattoo artists.
oh hell yeah,
On
on
two
two hands.
Now
Yeah,
there's like
yeah.
hundreds of them.
There's hundreds of it. Like clown.
hundreds of them.
Like shout out to that big clown Salvadia. You know, he worked with Lopez.
And social media has changed the
Yeah,
tattoo
it changed the
so
game,
much.
yeah,
Like,
because
we
you-
didn't know about it back then. Now you know about
When
artists
I met
in
you,
Brazil
it
and
was like, oh, Kumbia Inc. I'm like, I don't know. I'm gonna look. And then I met you, and then I was like, oh, he's a dope guy, you know, like, cool
Yeah.
kid, came in and
Villain Arts champion right here. How many
No,
years?
When I knew,
What is it? What is
years.
when I
No,
knew
you-
Kumbia was cool, he came in the Starfire,
Yeah, he
came
did.
through
Yeah.
convertible.
Oh, the
Yeah.
Starfire. The Ozone Go
I was like,
Starfire.
that's a cool kid right there.
Yeah, Villain Arts champion right here from the 209, which is you know, the biggest tattoo convention, Philadelphia, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Philadelphia. I mean, you know, I always take some awards. You know, I'm not a second place person. I like to, you know, hit it with the first. You know, just show them 209 all the time.
Yeah.
Like everywhere I go, if I
That
take
right.
second or third, like I'm just like, man, come on.
So
You
he's
just pretty
been
much
number
tell me-
one?
Yeah, at the Villain Arts
Villain
convention.
Arts Convention.
Yeah,
How
Philadelphia.
many years in a row?
3 or 4?
Yeah, 4 I think.
Yeah.
Wow.
4, and it's the biggest one in all
Yeah,
United States.
Philadelphia's got the best convention.
Wow.
Yeah. Are they having it this year? 'Cause
Yeah,
of COVID?
they're having it.
'Cause they didn't
I'm
have
not
it last
going no
year.
more though. It's
Yeah.
just I have my hands on a lot of stuff and I can't really do it no more
Get
just
to someone
because.
else, huh?
Yeah, like I mean, there's like I had to learn that the hard way. You know, like when I was around this big cast like Clown, Jose Lopez. I went to like Detroit. That was the first show I ever been to. I got tattooed with A.B. Alvarez. I was getting tattooed with him, and I told him he sucks. You know, after he had a big name, I was like, dude, come on, bro. Like I could do better, you know. But I was just trying to like hype myself up, you know.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I wanted to be dope like them. I wanted like to be on tour because they were killing it. These guys were, you know, like doing other thing, and you know, like it's hella funny how like Clan Salvadia and like there's some other big guys that were like, oh, that's Kumbia right there. That's little Kumbia, you know.
Yeah.
Everybody always shows me hella love, you know.
Yeah.
And you know, I was getting tattooed with AB. It was like, who the heck is this little kid? You know, like
Yeah.
thinking he's the shit and all this kind of stuff. I was like, watch me, bro.
Yeah.
I was like, just
Well,
watch.
the tattoo game has evolved so much. Like
Mhm.
some of the legends that I've seen, like the new kids that are only been tattooing like 5 years are already better than them. You know,
Yeah.
it's just crazy.
I seen your gun is dope. This looks like an old beat up gun.
Oh, yeah.
I was looking at it the other day and I was like, that's a dope ass gun.
Yeah.
I also wanted you to touch. So Kenny's wearing his. Kumbia has a brand, right?
Yeah.
And his brand is Work Ethic.
Work ethic. Yes.
And is that the hat you're wearing right now?
Yeah, that's
So-
definitely the hat.
The hat he's wearing, and then Kenny's wearing his shirt. Does it have the Work Ethic on the back or no?
No, not this. This is the old one. Yeah, that's.
this is the old one. Kumbia Inc. Him, but his new brand right there, Work Ethic. You can touch on that a little bit, let everybody
Yeah.
know that's
Um,
his newest brand.
Oh yeah, so I just came out with the brand pretty much last year. Pretty much I'm releasing it this coming up soon. Lately, I just been making a lot, but the thing is like I have like a whole photo shoot that I did, and I have a lot of like cool stuff that I'm coming out with. I'm doing like a tour one that I'm coming out with. The reason I started this brand was because I pretty much I have another brand with Adan Sanchez. He's a dope tattoo artist, big inspiration to my life. When
He's
I,
from the Bay, right?
no, he's from Albuquerque, New Mexico.
Okay, New Mexico.
Like shout out to Adan, a big guy. So me and him collabed in this brand, but I just kind of had to do my own thing, just push it to the side, just because I have so much stuff to do, and my brother got deported like right after my dad, so I feel like some things has changed, you know, like, and so I came out with this brand. I was building it for a minute, but I couldn't get the full potential that I wanted. I have 3 nails on my brand. The reason I decided to create 3 nail was because I look at my life like work ethic. What's work ethic? Something solid, something iron. It's hard to break. I'm built like that. That's the way I look at myself. Like I try to build myself on that level. The something that's gonna represent me. What's a better way than Jesus was sacrificed with 3 crosses? So I decided to pick 3 crosses for the same reason. I I feel like those 3 crosses has a lot of more meaning than just what it is and what it stands for. So when I picked those 3 crosses, I knew what I wanted. I knew exactly how I wanted. It only took me one day to pretty much put everything together, and it was pretty solid because once we had all that, shout out to Rangy who really helped me out on this project. It took a lot of thinking, which I don't really get to think a lot because I'm always so busy doing stuff. But this time we had to sit down. I had about 27 coffees that day.
27?
Yeah.
God damn.
I was on one on that
It's a lot
day.
of coffee.
It's a lot of caffeine, but like I literally had to like push my limits, like so those that just made me build something that I wanted to always be like, and I see myself. I will never compare myself to Jesus, like that's just stupid for me to say that,
Yeah.
but I always look at myself like a good role model. So no better way to carry my own brand with at least a little part of that.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
That's dope.
that's beautiful.
Yeah.
So we'll also have that here, his handle here for his website for work ethic and his Instagram for his tattoo page as well.
Yeah, and just a little hand is nothing that like is nothing that I get to like just copy and paste. I'm not just buying shirts and just putting it like buying a different brand and just putting it. We actually everything's from scratch. Like that's one of the things about me. I wanted to be everything.
Personalized.
Handmade? Oh,
Handmade.
handmade. Yeah, like everything I wanted to handmade. Like all the hoodies I'm coming out. Like everything's just it's just so beautiful because I wanted to represent my lifestyle. Like really what I stand for.
Yeah.
I'm not out here like this brand is not even about me making money. Like all the money is going to like homeless. Like it's literally going to like stuff like that.
Yeah. You're not about mass production. You actually take the time because you want there to be some value and sentiment to your
Yeah.
product. Yeah.
Yeah, like for sure. And like I fit the homeless every day. Like I just did that before I even got here. I went
Seen that
with the
on-
What'd you do?
I just went out and go feed the homeless like I always do. Give them a whole little package and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm all about that. I've been doing it for so long, but I never put it out there. I'll post it here and there once in a blue moon, but I don't really like to like post it because I feel like some people just want clout.
Yeah.
I'm not here for the clout. Like I'm here for the long run.
Yeah.
So I did that just to feel good. My days off, usually Saturdays and Sundays, I go out with my team and I give out. But this time it made me realize. Well, I've been thinking about this project about I want to say 6 months. So I sponsored a soccer team, TLJ. It's from Stockton. They took champion last year, and I told them, like if you want me to carry if you want me to be your main sponsor, like you got to carry my first place, like no matter where you're at. Like I said before, I like to put my stuff on certain stuff, but I just like for you to be the best. Even if you're not the best, at least give it full potential that I could see,
Yeah.
that you pretty much giving everything in.
Yeah.
So it made me realize I can't be doing it here in the U.S. I can't be giving out to the homeless and stuff like that, which I'm still gonna am. But I want to take this stuff to a third world. I want to be able to help out kids. Like have a toy drive every year, which has been great. I always fill up my cars. Like it's pretty amazing to have it, but I want to take this to a third world generation. So I want to be able to fly on my team and make sure my team goes out there and gives out as much as I can.
Absolutely, and I think it's for something that you're trying to do, it'd be great. If organizations are listening in, if it's something structured and organized, and you can see where it's going to, who it's going to, and the benefit of it. Definitely reach out to Kumbia on his website for the organizations that can connect to helping third world countries and can connect him that way. Because we all want to help, but you want to make sure that your help is going to the people that need it, and that you can show that it's actually, getting there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. Like I do want to a big thank you to Anna and Josh. Anna and Josh, they're from Phoenix, Arizona, and those people will change my lifestyle on seeing perspective on different stuff like this.
Yeah.
They get to open up my eyes, and they actually want to help me this year, to be able to do more stuff like that. We talked about the subject, but we haven't really talked about it, but they just see they always give out money, but she told me, she was like, we always give out money and we don't really know where it goes to sometimes, and a lot of people, that's why they're always scary, like you give out money to different companies and you don't even know where it's going, but I'm actually, like, I've been doing it. I pay everything out of pocket, whatever they give me. I just pay for other stuff, for the people, like some people pay for the trips with other people's money. Like, nah, come on now, I like to make sure if I'm doing it, I'm building it, I'm gonna pay for everything, and every gift that is gonna give to the people who need it. There is just people's money,
Yeah.
and that's the one thing about me, like I do want to be able to, show them videos, and even like videos with people even saying their names, like stuff like that, because I feel like we live in a fake world that a lot of people are taking people's money, and now, like, I've been doing a lot of stuff like that, and I know a lot of people who've been doing it. Like, shout out to Tony, who is in Philadelphia, and that was another guy too. He knows Andy Facilla really good, like, and he's done some pretty cool stuff.
My favorite podcaster, Andy Frisella.
Yeah, Andy Facilla. I was actually just listening to this guy like a couple of seconds ago before
I love Andy, man.
Yeah,
he's
like,
a realist.
Yeah, he sent me a cool little
incredible
little
story too. If you guys don't know, touch up on that one.
Yeah.
He sent you a podcast?
Well, yeah, like I was just listening to it. Like I say, he's a dope ass artist.
Yeah. You talk about being real on a podcast. He's as real as they come.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You already know you gotta get on me to tattoo you, bro. Well, soon I will.
Yeah.
So, what's next for you right now? So you're staying here in Stockton, and then you're going to
Tattooing me next.
Yeah, I know.
That's what man.
for the month. You're
Tequila
staying here for the
Pacheco.
month?
I know, right? Say that again?
You're
Sorry.
staying here for the month?
Yeah, I'm staying. No, I'm only staying here for another week, and then I head out to Seattle. I got some cool little stuff I gotta go do out there, and take a day off to enjoy with the boys, to go snowboarding and do some pretty outdoor stuff.
You're gonna go snowboarding?
Yeah, I'm gonna go snowboarding.
How big is your team, Kumbia?
Man, I mean, it depends on how many. Like, I could just literally say, as far as just the people who I deal tours with, or
is it, do you have like a manager, camera? Like, what's your team?
no? Well, right now I don't have a manager, but I'm getting back to it again. I'm pretty much just gonna be coming soon. But as far as like camera guys and everyone else, we're probably about like 20 to 40 deep, just on one tour. But we got more people like wanting to join and stuff like that. But some people, like, sometimes it's just me, Diego, and Leche. Who does it? Just three of us. But we meet up when we get there. We meet up with like Steve, and we meet up with like a lot of barbers in the industry.
Mm-hmm.
Just depends where we're going. Like, they have a whole group that they're introducing me to, that they've been following me for the longest. See, the thing about me, like, a lot of people follow me and I don't pay attention to who they are. Not because I don't care, it's just because I'm so busy, like, enjoying the moments, with my family, or really are out here doing something, like, that's the thing about me. I'm not a social media person, even though my numbers are pretty high. Like, I don't care about that kind of stuff, but I do show a lot of love once I get to meet them. And they just, whenever they see me, they're like, God damn, bro, like, you're a whole solid guy. We thought you were just an asshole.
Kumbia tells me that all the time. He goes, I'm not even on social media. And I'm like, what do you mean? You got like 60,000 followers.
Yeah, like, I they just grow naturally, like.
Yeah, organically.
Yeah.
But your team itself, like, when you do travel, you have, you bring a whole crew.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, I have a whole crew that, I come with. And, this is solid. We do speeches and stuff like that.
I didn't touch on that. So you're a public speaker.
Yeah, public speaker. Thanks to Diego, who made me open up. I really thank him a lot. Doing tours with them, he made me realize like a lot of things, that I was missing out on, and
Well, most successful people in anything know how to communicate very well.
Yeah.
yeah.
And
So
naturally.
yeah, so I just look at it like, I mean, I'm not a talker. Well, I do talk a lot. I'm not gonna lie.
Wait a minute.
But like I'm not like I don't get on stuff like that.
Yeah.
I never like I never seen myself doing that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Now it's definitely like bringing me a whole different route, which I'm so grateful for. That I'm actually doing it now because it made me open up a lot to myself. It made me really realize a lot about life and how much more I could help. Like it's just grateful. I'm so grateful to open up a little bit more. Like,
so on what platform are you doing public speaking? Is it to youth? Is it to other artists? Or how,
it's I was doing I'm doing seminars like for tattooing. I like to do ones-on-ones just because I get like the get full potential of the real reason why I'm doing this. So I love that. But I'm doing like other people. I'm doing like the collabs when I'm doing with Diego about speaking, to barbers. Like it's a whole art side. Like a lot of people just thinking cutting hair. It's a whole style. Like it's so beautiful to see it. I'm just so grateful by admiring their work, and
it's doing artwork on heads now.
It's some dope stuff, there's a lot of people. I don't think it's ever been done. I feel like me and Diego are the first ones to started this, and now you probably gonna start seeing a lot of different collaborations, which I'm grateful for people to start opening up, and like I don't want to take the credit. People are like, oh, you guys are started, at the end of the day, like everything's been started somewhere, It's just some people just keep it in the low key, and so people just put it out there. Like Dr. Thomas, like shout out to that guy. He's pretty dope, like he's always done his thing, and he's a motivated speaker that I started listening to. Like I want to say 2 years ago, I was driving down, like literally driving, and I hear this guy like going like, man, if how bad do you want to be successful? And he was like, you're gonna be successful as bad as you want to breathe. And I fucking stopped the car going like 80, 85, 95.
He's intense.
Yeah, like I was driving solid. I mean, when I'm going somewhere, I mean, my tours, I always done it in a car. I always done like really get in a car by myself. Like drove from here to New York by myself, no brakes, like just go full throttle and get there, sleep 3 hours, go back at it again. You get what I'm trying to say? So it's I've been doing this for so long. I just never put it out there, like a lot of people are like, oh, I'm over here doing this. Like, come on, be realistic with yourself, That's why I tell people, just be fucking real. Stop being fucking fake, like be real. Like I tell people, like people ask me like, how high are you? And I'm like, I'm 5'7", and I'm like, oh, you're hella small. I'm like, bitch, I've used all my 5'7", baby. But being realistic, like people tell me like, and it's hella funny how like I made that. I've been like, I've been speaking to people, and I don't know why that subject always comes up, my height. And it's hella funny. I'm like, I'm 5'4", baby, but I use small. And people know me as that now. They're like, oh, 5'4" in the building. What's up? It's pretty intense, but I love it. Because I love it because I feel the energy. Like
exactly.
I'm a small little kid with a big brain.
Exactly.
Who is a sponge though, not just the brain. The sponge is there. I'm very open to hear. Offers, just knowledge.
You take constructive criticism, and then you also just watch other people.
Yeah.
Like when we talk to you, I could see like you're listening to us, but you're looking at like, wow, this is how it relates to me, or this told me more about Veronica, or more about Rob, or more about Kenny, Like you're learning.
Yeah. I like to learn, anything. I could be watching a movie, but I'm learning, like. Yeah. I'm literally, I could be in this conversation.
You gotta stay learning. That's how you can stay growing.
Yeah, you just have to.
All you gotta do is learn one new thing every day.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's 7 things a week.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but but the thing is, like, a lot of people learn, but they just don't put it to work. That's
Well,
Yeah.
that's what. Well, they say knowledge is power. Nah, applied knowledge is power. Because you can have all the knowledge in the world, but if you don't do nothing with it, it didn't mean nothing.
yeah. So that's
You
the
got to
thing.
take the knowledge and really do something.
Yeah,
with it.
that's what me and Diego we collab on this big project that we're doing the tour. But I feel like we sucked it in as soon as we met each other. We were like two little kids, like on one little store, candy. So we noticed we're just alike. We're just alike. We're doing the same stuff, but just in different worlds. So we were like, you know what, like, where you want to go? And I'm like, bro, like, where you want to go?
Yeah.
And he's like, I've been all over. And I'm like, well, shit, me too.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
and then he thought I was just kidding. Like, one of the other guys was just gonna talk about it because my numbers, my Instagram was not like his.
Yeah.
Like I'm not, like I said, I'm not an Instagram guy. But once, like, he was like, okay, let's go here. And I'm like, all right, let's book the flight. We booked it the same day. We got there. I had, like, some people showed up, picked us up from the airport, showed them whole hospitality. This guy's like, what the fuck? Like,
Yeah.
like who the heck is it? Like, how the hell he got so many people? I'm like, bro.
Because
This,
you don't flash it out
yeah.
there.
I'm like, bro, this is nothing, baby. I was like, wait, well, I got a story. I was like, where else you want to go?
5-4 in the house.
For sure.
Hell yeah.
So now that everywhere we go, it's hella funny how much people go in there. It's like they're like, holy shit, dude, like, you have a whole solid.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I was smart, when I was tattooing, I was like, I was doing all these things. I saw the big basic, like, everyone stays home in a comfortable zone. So I'm like, I'm gonna go out there and get it, and I'm gonna really go out there and get it.
Yeah.
So I told myself, I came to Stockton, I went back to Alabama. So when I was in Alabama, I told myself I was gonna buy a house at 21, and I did it. And people were like, dude, how you did it? I'm like, because this is where everything's gonna come from. I was like, if I could have a home, people just work for a house. People just work, to have a car or to eat. I was like, what if you could own every single one of them? Like, at the end of the day, you don't gotta pay rent. I was like, so you could do a lot with the money, So a lot of people didn't see, like, my vision. Now, like, everyone's always like, who, Kumbia? I'm like, oh, it's gonna cost you $1,000 to talk to me. And then, but at the end of the day, like,
writing this check.
yeah, I know, right? So I'm like, dude, like, at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? You don't want to listen because you always want to be on comfort zone. Like, you want to go out there, someone to do it, and then you're gonna want to ride his dick. Like, come on, like, you just don't do that. Like, just do it for yourself. So now, like, it's hella funny how, like, so much people try to talk to me, and I'm like, bro, it's not even waste my time.
Yeah, it's true.
But it's cool, I get to experience that. And when I was doing that, I told myself, like, you know what, like, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna plant a seed in every different state. I'm gonna plant a little seed, and it's gonna grow because this is pretty much what I teach in my seminars, and it's gonna be hella funny because you guys are gonna be like, damn, I was so stupid, like, literally so stupid. So I told myself, okay, I'm not a good tattoo artist. I'm not. I'm being realistic. I'm probably tattooing one person out of the week. 2 people, 3 people. It keeps growing and growing and growing. But I told myself, if I could do it in Birmingham, and I could drive 3 different hours and do it in Atlanta, and I could drive another 3 or 4 different hours and do it in Kansas, and I could drive 3 or 4 different hours and do it in Memphis, and if I do it every 3 days, plant a little seed, eventually people only have regular jobs. So it's very smart for you to see that, for at least for me to see that, people have regular jobs and they're going to get tattooed once every 3 to 6 months. So I was like, dude, bingo, it's easy. So I was like, what if I keep doing it and doing it and doing it and doing it and doing it, and I just keep planting those little seeds. So when May comes around, half a year, I could just turn around, and do it all over again. Boom, and keep on growing until I start having 4 or 5 different people in one, state. And then, like, keep growing to 10, and then it goes to 20, and next thing you know, you probably have 100 people now. It's, how long can it take, Like, do your math. Like, don't just be lazy being on Instagram liking stuff. Like, do your homework on whatever you're doing,
So
That's Kumbia's way of running the numbers.
that's what running numbers. Yeah. So tell me, Kumbia, in your last tour, where were you? Your most recent tour?
My most recent tour, I had to go to Alabama. I had to go to Alabama and I had to do a video for that one because I go to sleep super late. I wake up real early. Sometimes I wake up real late just because but I'm doing a lot of stuff. But I had to go out there. I told myself I had to go out there and do a video telling myself I don't skip steps. Like that's one of the things about me. Like for those who are following me on Instagram, I'm pretty much telling the whole story. If you guys could keep up with really the knowledge that I'm trying to put out there, it's just I'm so grateful to put it out there. But I just do it in
Low key.
low key. I don't like to say it. I like people for actually read and think what they really have to say. But I did Alabama, I did Atlanta, I did New Mexico. New Mexico shows me a lot of love.
So how many people did you tattoo?
Tattoo. I never keep track. That's one of the things I don't like to keep track on stuff like that.
But it's almost every day?
Yeah, I mean I tattoo one person a day for sure. Sometimes I get to tattoo three. It just depends on the dates, like on where am I at, how am I am. But I mean I have about 100 people a day hitting me up, probably sometimes.
But
sometimes even 10.
Kumbia is a little bit different artist than most. You concentrate mostly on full pieces, right?
Yeah, full pieces just because I want to give
like a full arm sleeve or a full back piece.
Yeah, I take in big projects, but don't get me wrong. This is the one thing I want to put out there. I still do walk-ins from here and there. If somebody hits me out with a great story and is contacting me back to back to back, like you're not bothering me whatsoever. But you also put in the effort of knowing how much you want a piece from me. Even if it's a little line or a dot, like I admire it and I see it sometimes, Sometimes it gets carried away just because right now I'm trying to work with another manager and try to see how I run things because when people talk about managers, like you lose a lot of the contact with the artist, I don't want to lose none of that. I want to make sure they get the full experience of me. What am I about? What am I doing my life with? Like all potential, like pretty much they're talking to me. I don't want them to talk to another person.
Yeah.
So that's the thing right now I'm trying to work with, finding somebody who really wants to admire their job, that's the thing about me because I'm not just tattooing, but I'm doing like business size.
Yeah.
Like I'm not just a tattooer, I do like a lot of other stuff on the side.
Yeah, no, I know.
But I want to be able to make sure they get to see that, and
they have a real experience with
definitely the experience.
Real.
Yeah, that's one thing. But if they do hit me up with just a line or writing and they have a great story, like I love it. I just love it. And I love it. And whenever they sit down with it, they're like, damn, now I know what I paid, and now I know what he took his time.
Yeah.
Like, so I'm really grateful for that.
What's your wait time right now if someone wants to tattoo with you?
I don't book myself out more than 3 months.
Okay.
The main reason I read a book by The Road Less Stupid. It's a good book. You guys should go and read that. Like it's pretty dope. The main reason it just opened up my eyes because you never know what things have right in front of you. Like things could happen here and there. So 3 months, like I don't like let me be fucking real with you guys. Like I could book myself right now for 10 years if I really want to.
Yeah.
Like and on some cocky shit, however you guys want to take it. Like I could literally book myself for 10 years, but I don't want to. I don't want to because I get a lot of opportunities throughout the year that I want to take knowledge of, and I want to experience that with my kids. I don't have kids, but my brother who I have as a kid, and my family, my nieces and stuff like that. So I don't want to book myself more than 3 years and not knowing what I'm gonna do in my life.
Yeah.
3 months.
Yeah. 3 months.
Yeah. 3 months. Sometimes I do it a month. Like right now, I haven't booked for Seattle. It's hella crazy how people are like, dude, you haven't even booked. It's literally next week, and then I only book one person. But like, see, the thing is, like, I don't worry. Like, I'm just so good and what I do, and people get to see that, so they know when they sit down with me, it's a full experience, you know.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, we appreciate you being here. We support you. He's from Stockton. He gave you guys the real story.
Absolutely.
Who he is, what he's doing. You'll see a lot more of Kumbia. He's someone that we really, really treasure as a person, and his banners out here. We support him 100%, and we're humbled by your time, giving us your time, because we know how valuable your time is. It's priceless. So thank you for being here, mijo.
No, thank you guys for
Thank
having
you,
me.
Kumbia.
No, seriously, thank
My
you guys for
dude.
having me here. Though I
love
do
this
appreciate
guy.
it.
Yeah.
I love you guys too. man.
Longest podcast yet, too.
Yeah.
1
Yeah.
hour and 20 minutes.
We had a good session with him the other day too.
Yeah, I know, huh?
We should have recorded it.
How's that sunburn coming?
Yeah.
I know, huh? We should just go get lunch and come right back to it. You know?
He's like, I want to stay.
Like, I want to stay though. Like, I love you guys though. You know?
Thank you, Ted.
No,
Thank
I
you.
do.
Thank
All right,
you
guys. Thank you for tuning in.
All right.
Thank you guys for everything, and you know, God bless you guys.
Awesome.
Thank you for listening.
Welcome to KLF Investments. We are located in Central Valley. We provide quick sale support for all properties, including vacant, pre-foreclosed, job transfers, and probates. We also pay up to $1,000 for all property referrals. You can contact us directly at www.klfinvestmentsllc.com. We look forward to hearing from you.